Namo Rathibhyo Arathebhyascha O Namaha is the next mantra. That is, not very difficult to understand. Namo Rathibhyo, those who are actually have chariots. So all of us who have cars are all Rathibhya. So Namo Rathibhyo, those with chariots. Also it means those who are riding the chariots. So when you are actually you are sitting in the chariot, then also you are a Rathi. So as distinct from Sarathi. See, a Sarathi is when somebody is driving you, but if you are driving it, you are driving and you are also both passenger and the traveler, because a Sarathi does not have a destination of his own. That's the difference. Because he will just go wherever the owner asks him to go. He has no purpose. Whereas a Rathi has a purpose. So that is the distinction. So we have got to be very subtle difference we have to see. As a Rathi, you have a point of departure, you have a route to take, and you have a destination to reach. So there is purpose all through. Whereas for a Sarathi, that is a driver, he has none of this. And then, so those without Ratha, Arathebhyascha Namaha. That means those who do not own or who are not actually riding a Ratha is a Arathi. So philosophically, what this means is, a person who is a Rathi is one who has got self-control. Think about this. When a driver is driving you, you are at his mercy as to how he drives, isn't it? Even though you have hired him. Whereas when you are driving, you are in perfect control of the vehicle also. Similarly, when you consider this Dehendriyas, the body-mind complex, as your Ratha, as the chariot in which the experiencer is riding, when he has got control on the manas, also known as damaha, then such a person is called a Rathi. Arathebhyascha means one who does not have shamadama, the two important cardinal virtues and values that are required for a purposeful life. Shama is having a control on the mind, Dhamma is having a control on the body. So without control of mind and body, one is a Aratha. Otherwise, he is a Ratha. But this is in the context of this Anuvaka. If you see, all mantras are related to various aspects of the army, various aspects of a defense system. So defense system also is philosophically you defend yourself against all negative things. But in the context of warfare also we have got to understand this concept of Rathi. There are 5 kinds of Rathis. This is what you will come across in the Mahabharata. There is a Rathi. A Rathi is one who is capable of attacking 5,000 warriors simultaneously. So he is a Rathi. There are a couple of examples in Mahabharata. Uttara, son of Virata, Shikhandi, both of them were Rathis. So that is why you will see in Mahabharata, they will show their valor at appropriate time. So the next in the hierarchy is a Atirathi. So Rathi moves on to Atirathi. This Atirathi can take on 10,000 army single-handedly. So examples: Drupada, Virata, Jayadratha, Shishupala, Abhimanyu, Shakuni, all these people were Atirathis. Then in the next higher in this hierarchy, you have a Maharathi. A Maharathi is capable of taking on 60,000 troops at the same time. Not only that, it is not combat either hand to hand with weapons called astras, or with bow, arrow and missiles, which is shastra. But they were also, besides being masters of astra shastra, they were also capable of tactics of war. formations called vyuha, and then strategizing how a particular war should be fought. Constantly evaluating the capability of the enemy. So here also you have to see in philosophical sense. Just because you have got control on your mind and senses, it doesn't mean that the world will not bother you, because the world will continuously will be challenging, and it will be giving different kind of strategies and vyuhas are required for us to combat. It may come in various color, shapes and forms. So there were quite a number of Maharathis. So we can take a couple of examples from Ramayana also. There was Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, Kritavarma, Angada, Mainda, Dvivida, Nala, Nila, Satyaki, Drishtadyumna, Shalya, Duryodhana, Sugriva, Kamsa, Dushasana, quite a few people. Vikarna, Yuyutsu, Krupa, Pradyumna. That's why if you look at the list of people in Bhagavad Gita in the first chapter, when Duryodhana is quoting, he will be quoting all the Maharathis, because they are the most formidable of the troops. Bhavan, Bhishmascha, Karnascha, etc., etc. Then the next is the Ati Maharathis. The Ati Maharathis are capable of fighting 12 Maharathis and their other troops single-handedly. You can imagine the valor of these people. And then obviously we don't come across many of the names. Narasimha of Narasimha Avatar, the man-lion avatar, Narasimha. Then Vali was like that. That's why Vali had to be slain only by Rama. Vali was Ati Maharathi. Then you had Kartavirya Arjuna. So for Kartavirya Arjuna, only in Parashurama Avatara he could be neutralized. And obviously, because Parashurama could take on Kartavirya Arjuna, he is a Ati Maharathi, Parashurama. Then Ravana, Indrajit, Kumbhakarna. Even though he was sleeping all the 6 months, once he wakes up, that's it, he is formidable. Narakasura. So only Satyabhama could only kill him. Jambuvanta, Rama, Lakshmana, Hanuman, Bhishma, Drona, Ashwathama, Karna, Ati Maharathi, Arjuna, Krishna. He is in line with these people. Balarama. That's why we also say Ashwathamo, Balirvyasaha. And then we also Ashwathama, Vikarna, Ghora Makara, Duryodhana Vartini, Sotirna, Kalu Pandavai Rananidhi, Kaivartaka Kesavaha. So you can see in all of those things they identify the most valorous of their Rathis. Jarasandha, Indra, Shanmukha, Skanda, Ganapati. Look at the galaxy of people who were such Maharathis. It is nice to know because once you see, when you are reading the Purana, you will see how could they do such terrible or tremendous work. It is because of this capability. Very few examples of Maharathi. This is the highest of the fifth and the largest Maharathis. We don't get many. In the entire history of mankind, there were only 4 Maharathis. They are capable of neutralizing 24 Ati Maharathis at the same time. It is Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma and Durga only. So only 4 of these deities will be able to take on. So this is just a little sidebar statistics for you.
Can you repeat those 4?
Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, the Trimurtis and Durga. So the next is Namo Rathebhyo Rathapatibhyascha O Namaha. So the owners of Ratha. So there is a little difference from the previous mantra. This mantra teaches to actually see Rathebhya. Rathebhya means my salutations to the Ratha itself. So you may actually connect this to the Durga Puja or Mahanavami, where we do the puja for the cars. See, during the Navratri festival, we do puja for the cars. So it could be interpreted as a silly, stupid kind of prayer, right? But here is the authority. Namo Rathebhyaha. My salutations to the physical vehicle itself. And then Rathapatibhyascha, the owner of that vehicle. So you need not even be driving. It can be in your garage, and you own the car. So therefore you are Rathebhyo Rathapatibhyascha. What does this mantra teach us? Why a scripture such as Rudra should take up just this inanimate object? It is to teach us that both sentient and insentient objects are manifestation of Lord. Chetana, Achetana Vastu is in fact Ishvara. Because if you ask the question, just because you put together an assembly of nuts, bolts and whatever, and then you had a battery and so on and so forth, why should it be such a vehicle which will take you from one place to another place? You may say there is science, but who is ordering the science to function in that particular way? Why is it a car doesn't start on its own? It needs the intervention. That means it follows and obeys the Rita Dharma. Rita is cosmic law. We talked about it yesterday in our class. Because of this Rita, you see that inanimate objects remain inanimate. What about the animate human beings? Is there any consistency in our conduct, behavior, thought? you can see the difference. So each of these inanimate objects also become a role models for us. Once you have committed to a particular way of life, to a particular law, at whatever cost we have got to obey that law. So that is what this mantra teaches us. So let's look at a little bit of Vedanta here. So what do you see in your wakeful state when you see a person in a car? When you see a person in a car, you have the distinct concept of the difference between the car and the human being. So when do you get that distinction? When you are awake. So at that point of time, all our knowledge of saying this car is an inanimate object, it was created by an intelligent cause called another human being, an engineer. Then matter was converted into the various parts of the car by the ingenuity of a human being. So you can see the efficient cause and the material cause right away and distinguish the material cause and the individual cause of inanimate objects. You can also distinguish between the nimitta karana, upadana karana of the human being. And you also know the distinctive difference between nimitta karana, upadana karana of an inanimate object vis-a-vis a sentient object. This is how you have to understand Rathebhyo Rathapatibhyascha. So Rathya has got an efficient cause and then a material cause. The Chetana Vastu has a efficient cause, material cause. The distinction between the two causes and effects are known to us in our wakeful state. Suppose you are dreaming. So in your dream, you see a person in a car, isn't it? What is the material cause and the efficient cause of the car and the person who is sitting in the car? It is both yourself, isn't it? So, can we say that since we can understand that in this dream state, both the efficient cause and the material cause, both of them are created by the taijasa, that is that part of our awareness which is in dream state. Could it be that the universe also in our wakeful state is like that? This is why our Vedanta says that even our wakeful state is only a dream. When you get liberation, you wake up from it. That's why we call such a person as the Buddha. How does a Buddha, whom can you call a Buddha? A Buddha is one who considers even a wakeful state as the manifestation of Ishvara. So from this mantra onwards, very interestingly, you will see that the Rudra teaches us the attributes of a Jivan Mukta. So a person who is liberated while alive will be able to see both the animate and the inanimate objects as the manifestation of Ishvara. An important concept, because this message tells us to see actually God in the Archavatara in a temple. If you look at the stone image in a temple, a thinking analytical person will say it's only stone, it's a piece of metal, as somebody said. It's not a piece of metal. It is the manifestation of Ishvara. Unless that awareness comes, we will still be mired in Ajnana only. There is a beautiful teaching in Kalidasa's Megha Sandesha. In Megha Sandesha, Kalidasa chooses an inanimate cloud. You know the story, right? There was a yaksha, and this yaksha was very much in love with his wife. And then what happens is, even on the job, he was thinking of his wife. And he was distracted. When he was distracted, he gets a curse. And then in that curse, he is banished to go to a border town and cannot take the family. So when he has gone there, he is pining for his wife, and therefore he calls out to a cloud. And that was the beginning of the rainy season. Ashadasya prathama divase meghamashklishta sanam vaprakrida parinatagati prekshaniyam dadarsha. That's how the Megha Sandesha starts. A very beautiful poem. It's called a Khandakavya. So it starts there. And then in that, he calls out a cloud. And then he gives a message. You take this message to my wife and deliver it. And he tells this cloud, probably in the Vindhya area he was, what are all the places you will cross? How many rivers you will cross? What? Yeah, Vindhya. Yes. Nagpur. There is actually outskirts of Nagpur. There is a very beautiful museum. Yes, Ramtek. There is a museum. All of the Kalidasa's works have been rendered into painting. Has written. Kalidasa is supposed to have written Meghaduta in that part, in that place, exact place. So we spent quite a bit of time at this location. So next time you happen to go to Nagpur, don't miss that. So Kalidasa himself asks, is this yaksha a stupid person to look at a cloud as an animate messenger who will really understand the message, take the route, the map that was given by this yaksha, and deliver the message to his wife? So here is, I'll quote him, Dhuma Jyotihi Salila Marutam Sannipataha Kwa Megha. Where is this Megha? Megha means cloud. Where is this Megha, which is Sannipataha, a mixture of Dhuma. Dhuma means vapor. It's vapor, water vapor that forms. Jyoti, that means the heat of the sun. Salila Marutam. Salila means water. Marut means air. So is that not cloud a combination of all this? Where is this Megha? Sandesharthaha Kwa Patu Karanaihi Pranibhih Prapaniyaha. Pranibhih. What is the quality of a living being? It is Patu Karanaihi. Karana means sense organs. Patu means efficient. Patu Karunai. So, human beings, what are the nature of human beings? All of us have our organs, sensory organs, which is competent and efficient and aware. So, this intelligent person whose senses are under his control, Sandesharthaha, for the sake of sending a message, this intelligent person, how can he choose an inanimate object like a cloud, which is a formation of all this? Ityautsukhyat apariganayan. Iti autsukyat apariganayan. That means in his enormous amount of wisdom, he did not argue. He did not argue how can a sentient, intelligent human being address an insentient cloud, and how can you ask the cloud to take a message? Kamarta hi prakriti kripanaha chetana chetaneshu. The meaning is a person who is a jnani, who is a learned person, has that special emotional quality that naturally flows in compassion and inundates the nature, both animate and inanimate. Namo rathibhyo arathebhyascha namaha has to be understood like this.